Technical difficulties. Sorry. I forgot I turned it off. Okay, sorry, I forgot I turned off the microphone last time I used the thingamabob here. So, all right. So today we are going to, let's start over. Today we are going to be working on our day 11 of our book, and this is from Encourage. It's called A Moment to Breathe. So we're going to be doing day 11. And our verse today is from Isaiah 26:3. It says, "You will keep the mind that is dependent on you in perfect peace, for it is trusting in you." So that's our verse. And then you have, oh, Mr. Hermes came in with honey when he fixed the recording. Hi, Mr. Hermes. So our little devotional here today says, "Have you ever seen a hummingbird at rest? Even when she hovers over a flower, dipping her slender beak deep into the blossom for a nectar drink, even then her wings beat infinitely faster than my eyes can account for or my mind can understand. She is constantly in motion, zipping to and fro, a creature to catch in mere glimpses, flashes of blurry beauty and intrigue. But today she sits on a telephone wire, a black silhouette against a pale blue sky of early morning. So tiny upon the wire, she could be an oversized acorn or balancing leaf. It would be difficult to discern were it not for the occasional slow turning of her fragile head, revealing that needle beak. In this moment, she is not striving, no flying or trying, just being. Is every creature given the gift of pause? Is every living thing led to rest, if under the Creator's view alone? I wake up early to steal a handful of quiet moments. There is email to check, a work task to attend to, and a Bible study lesson to complete for an upcoming meeting. I feel pressed on all sides and need productivity to triumph. I look up again from my messy desk, window facing west, and my wire friend is gone. But I gaze upon her empty spot and know, a deep knowing that I deeply need to know, that she is cared for as part of God's precious creation. She is carried in the constant motion that will consume the remainder of her heart wildly beating, wings frantically fluttering day. Her rest may be seldom hidden, but she is not unseen. And I claim the truth again. It is worth putting aside my desire to be productive in order to take up the pen of paying attention. So today's prompt is a moment to breathe. Look outside or look up. Notice a bird nearby sitting on a branch or wire and find a seat yourself. Take a deep breath and exhale, thanking God for the gift of rest. So that is what we are supposed to be doing today. So I went and found, let me move some of this stuff here. I went and searched for, because every morning I take Lexi out to drive her to school, and we have a hummingbird. And it used to be the little hummingbird would fly around and not stop. You know, you'd see her for a second or whatever on her feeder getting food or whatever. But now the hummingbirds stop, and every morning they sit on the branch and they talk to us before we drive off. So it's kind of cool. So I went and searched for the little image here, and I thought this would be perfect with the girl who is talking to the little bird, because she is taking a moment to be still and be with her friend here. Sorry, Mr. Hermie had to cough. Mr. Hermie. He decided he would sneak in, I guess. Okay, so let's start out. Oh, and today I'm going to be using my Prismacolor pencils. So I did not gesso my page today. We're going to try it without. I've never colored in my Bible without that, but I thought I wouldn't need that. I traced this little image here with my light box, and I will put a link at the end of the video to how I do that. I have another video showing how I do that. And I traced it with my Prisma black pencil. So that's all ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and outline my verse. So what's verse 3? And I'm going to use, this is a 0.25 illustrated faith pen. Oops. It's a little skippy because I use it over the gesso so much that it's kind of clogged up, I think. That's okay. So there, we'll just do a little outline. Not too complicated. And then I also have this little cheat sheet that I use for my Prismacolor pencils so I can look at to see what colors I want to use. Hi, Julie. Thanks for joining me. So let me get my pencils out here, and I have my pencils in this. Whoops, I zipped it back up. I have these pencils in a case so I can easily find them. So let's go ahead and do her skin first. And I haven't ever colored in my Bible with the colored pencils, so we're going to see how that goes. So let's go with Light Peach, which is 927. Let's try that first. And she's got a little bit of her hand down here. Well, I think that's her dress, so let's go. And I maybe should have probably outlined her maybe with a pen, maybe instead of the pencil. Or maybe just done it in just pencil maybe. Because the pencil's kind of picking up a little bit of that black. So I'm going to just try not to get right onto the line. Okay, that's not very dark. Let's go with 1001. That's salmon pink. I didn't think about the black rubbing around on the page. I didn't know how that was going to react. Live and learn, live and learn. And let's give it a little bit of shadow. So let's go with 939, which is peach. Just a little bit darker. Maybe that'll help out with this black I got going on up here. I think it's making it worse. Uh-oh. Just a second, I have to let the dog out. Ow. Bad boy. Okay, sorry about that. Hi, Carol. Thanks for joining me. I should have thrown him out as soon as I know he was in here, because anybody that walks by that they have to bark at. They're little terrors. Okay, so next time I'm definitely going to maybe outline my girl. I didn't want it to seep through the other side, but I'm gonna have to try doing it with a different pen. Maybe my Illustrated Faith pen I can draw on there and see if it goes through next time, so that way it won't mess with the lines. Exactly, do the colored pencil, and you're right, Carol. If I try to do, that's what I mean. I'm going to try to do the colored pencil, the outline in a pen instead. I just don't want it to go like, see, when you go through on the back of this one, you can't, there's no bleed through on the back. I was worried about the pen going through, but I guess when I did the outline for the pen over here, it didn't go through the back. It's just a shadow on there, so I'll do that next time. I'll use my Illustrated Faith pen to draw it on, but it's okay for today. All right, so let's go ahead and do her hair. And since there's a lot of little lines in there, let's give her some kind of black hair. So how about warm gray, which is 1058. And let's go 1056. Okay, so I'm going to start with 1058, which is the darkest one. And then let's add 1056. I really like how the pencils go down on the page. I haven't ever used my pencils in my Bible journaling before. And I'm going to come back with the 1058 again. And maybe we'll add a little bit of the 935. Carol, if I guess gessoed the back of the page, I'm not sure. I'll have to try that, I guess, and see if maybe it does goes through. If I gesso the back, if it'll go through. But the pen, the Illustrated Faith pen, did not go through to the other side. It just, you can see a shadow, but it didn't bleed through. So I'm definitely going to try that again. Maybe next week. We'll try it again next week with the pen. I could see how you would be with these pencils, though. You could sit here and fiddle with this for a long time. So we'll definitely be doing this again. This is really good. I like it. Okay, let's do some of this wood out here on the back. So let's do 947, which is dark umber. They're not all, Julie. That Julie says that she hasn't seen a Bible with a margin that wide. They're not always this wide. Like this page on this side has like a 2-inch margin right here. But this side over here, because they mushed it over here, there's a little bit more room. And I guess maybe because the verses were smaller, there was more room. Because on a lot of times they go like on this page, see, they go clear out here to the margin. Some of the pages just have a little bit of extra room. I know I loved it because this whole girl fit on there. And I only did this girl to, let's see, did I write it down? Oh, this little girl's a Moe's digital pencil image too, if I forgot to say that. It's called A Little Birdie, and I'll put a link is down in the description box. But I reduced her to 90% of what she originally was so that she would fit in that spot right there. So that worked out pretty good. And this Bible here is, I bought it at DaySprings, and there is a link to this one, and it's an NIV Journaling the Word Bible. There's a link to it, Julie, down in the description box, this one that I used. Okay, so we're going to use 947. And this is the darkest color, so let's go ahead. So hopefully this will combat some of that, these black lines. So how about we put it right next to these lines, so that maybe that will help out for some of the smearing. So we're going to have a workaround. Things we learned during Bible journaling. As I'm always trying to try out some new stuff so that we can all try it and get some different, find out what we like to do in there. Like I've discovered I really like putting the little images into color. I just haven't decided what medium I like to color with the best, but I'm thinking this one's pretty good. Especially without the gesso on the page, it goes on so nice. The gesso kind of gives it like a plasticky feel when you color on the top of it. It doesn't feel like it goes on as smooth or as nice as I would like. I like the pictures. I just want to find something that makes it a little bit easier. Maybe not as much prep work as, even though gesso doesn't take very much prep work. It seems like when you do the watercoloring of the gesso that it doesn't, it kind of sits on top of the page. You have to wait. I also put down in the description box, I put a link to the devotional that I'm using because I haven't really, I couldn't decide on what I wanted to use, and I thought that would be perfect for us to use all year, and then it's just one purchase since I've discovered I really like the pictures best, and that's usually what I use. I still will probably get the kits and then use some of the parts out of it. but I find that I don't use the stuff, all the stuff up. So as long as we can follow along in that, the little book, then we can always find something to go on the page. Okay, so that was, okay, let's go to 946, which is dark brown. And let's add 945, which is sienna brown. It's kind of a reddish color over the top. Uh-oh. That's one thing I hate about these Prisma pencils is sometimes they just break. Okay, so we're going to sharpen that. So I got this battery operated Emika's pencil sharpener, and I'm loving this thing. I did put a link to this down in the description box, but you just stick it in there. You can check it because it doesn't stop on its own. And you got a sharp point. So I'm really liking that. Somebody recommended that on one of the stations I watch, and I'm like, oh, let's try that. And I've loved it so far. But it is battery operated, so I recommend getting some rechargeable batteries. That way you can just plug them back in. Although I haven't had to charge mine up yet since I got it, so they've lasted quite a bit. It's not like you use it all the time. And I'm going to color in the little screw knots here with 935. There's like some little bolts holding it, or rivets. Okay, let's do her little outfit. So let's see, what color do we got here? Let's do blue. That way it can be really dark. How about 901, which is indigo blue. And the hard part is finding it. Here it is. Okay, so like I did with the wood, I'm going to kind of use this color to go over that black. Or get close to the line, that way if it smears out, it will be part of the shadow. And then let's do 1022. Oh, where's 1022? Oh, right here. I must like this one a lot because it's short. This is Mediterranean Blue. Carol wants to know how I would organize my colored pencils. So I have my colored pencils in this Sonocolor pencil pack. So they all fit in like so. Here, let me zoom up a little bit. So they all go in here like this, and they all fit. And there's even a couple of extra little spaces here at the on the side, and then it zips shut, so you can take it with you. And if you want, I'll put a link to this. I don't have it in the description box, but I'll put a link to that after the video in the description box. Okay, let's go on with our color and our girl here. So this is Mediterranean Blue 1022. And I really love that pencil pack. I'm thinking I need to maybe get a couple more so I can put my, well, I have my Faber-Castell pencils in there too, in one of those packets too, but I have some Inktense pencils, so I need to find one that I can put those in, but there's only 72, so I need to get a little bit smaller pouch, because it's nice that you can just flip through it and slide them back in there. Okay, let's do this little patch right here. Let's do something really a lot lighter. So let's try 904. And 904 is light crystalline blue. I don't know if I said that right. And let's do some red for that little heart. So for the red, let's do 924, which is crimson red. And how about we do our bird red? That way it'll go with our little heart there and bring a little bit of color out here. So that was, what was that? 924. So let's go 920, or no, 122, which is permanent red. And then let's add 922. Do I want to try that? No, let's go 118. And 118 is Cardium Orange Hue. And then I'm going to do something about this face here. I don't know. I'm thinking that I need to do let's do 943. Did I already get that out? Let's try. Hi, Connie. Thanks for joining me on Really Crazy Forced Paper. Julie. You're so silly. That's a great name. I love that. I'm going to switch from it. Well, that's good to know. The YouTube one is a closer picture. Well, I zoomed in too. I went a little closer. So, okay. So I'm going to try to do something with this face with 943 because I got all this stupid black up here because I don't know what I'm doing. But let's darken her face up. Maybe that will kind of help it out. Next week, I think we'll definitely try it with, we're going to do colored pencils again next week. And I'll trace my image with a Illustrated Faith pen and see how that goes. Not the colored pencil. Crazy thing. Okay, and this is 939. And then 1001. Oh, whoops, let's do, this one's a little bit darker than I thought it was. And let's try 927. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it like that. Okay, let's see. We need something in here behind this girl. She can't just be floating in space. So let's do, I have green in my room, so let's do 1090. Just because. if I can find it. And this is Kelp Green. Okay, except for the girl's face, I'm pretty happy with it. Let's go. I think I'm going to add a little bit more blue to her little dress here. Lessons learned. Definitely do not trace your image with the colored pencil. See if we can darken some of this up in here. Okay, so what I've learned from this so far is that definitely trace your image with something besides a colored pencil. So next week I'm going to try to do it with a pen. And then I could totally see, and it didn't come through the back, that if I didn't have these lines that were like feathering everywhere, that I could sit here and fiddle with this and make it all different shades and everything, and I could just spend forever just sitting here flipping through colors and decorating that. So we would definitely be doing that again. I really like that. I really like how the colored pencils go on the page. There was no prep work. It didn't go through to the back. So we're gonna try that again next week with the pen. Okay, so that is that. And I got on my computer and I found some fonts, and I liked this verse. It says, "Be still and trust the Lord." And I printed it on clear sticker paper. There is a link to that in the description. This font here is called Modesty, and I used number 48. And then this one is Impact, and I used 72. That's what size it was. Now I'm going to cut it out in case you want to go grab those and use them yourself. I'm not a hand lettering person. I would love to learn how to do that, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. Someday. It's like all things. It takes practice, and I need to make time to do that. But we're just going to... So this is my hand lettering. I got on the computer, found a beautiful font, and I'm going to cut it out and stick it in here. And I did print this last night, hoping that it would dry, because the ink is black's pretty squishy, but I evidently sat something on it because it's got some streaks right here where it's kind of smeared. It wasn't dry all the way. I didn't wait long enough. So be aware of that when you print out the sticker paper. It does, some of the darker colors take a little bit to dry, so I recommend cutting them out or printing them out the night before and then using them the next day. Okay, so then I'm just going to peel this off. Is there like a sticker on the back? No. Okay. So, sometimes there's a little slit on the back and you can cheat. This sticker paper is kind of persnickety. Okay. And once you stick the sticker down onto the page, you're not getting it up. So make sure it's where you want it to go. I'm going to put mine right here. So because it's kind of big and wobbly, I'm going to start down here and press this down and then slowly lower it. And it's stuck to my finger, so I'm going to have to hold on to it up here at the corner so I can get it off. And then just smooth it out so that it will be flat. Otherwise, if you get a little crinkle in it, you're stuck with that little crinkle. You're not getting that off. Now, Carol wants to know about how many the pencil case holds. The pencil case holds 150 colors, all the pencils in my box, and then I organized them by my colored pencil chart. And to find this, I just did a Google search and typed in Prismacolor pencils in there, and I popped up this little chart, and then I colored each one of the little dots in. I'll try to find it again, and if I do, I'll put a link to it down in the description box if you guys need to go get a Prisma pencil sheet, because this one's really nice, and it's got them all in a row. But they're in my pencil holder by the numbers on here. So there we've got our thing on here. The poor girl's face, I don't know. But there's nothing we can do about that. So I'm not going to, I don't think I'm going to do any journaling today. I'm liking it just the way it is. I might do a little bit of journaling up right in here, maybe a little bit later, but I haven't really thought about what I would like to say. So I'm going to have to do that. And then, see if my pen's working. Of course it's not. I'm going to have to break out a new pen. And then down here, I always put the day because I want to know what day I did the journaling. And then I stopped doing the tabs because it was getting so bulky that I couldn't, it was just getting too much. I've decided I don't want the tabs in there. So that is our verse for this week. And don't forget, guys, that over on the store blog, and there's a link to that down in the description box way at the bottom, that I put a new tab at the top of the blog that says classes. So if you go over there, you can see what verse we're going to be working on every week. I'm going to try to keep up to date on that so that you'll know what we're working on. But we will be working on day 18 in our book. So that will be next week at 9 o'clock in the morning. And I hope to see you there. Have a great week, guys. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.